Welcome back. Well, we have Carol Moore, who is the mayor of the city of Laguna Woods. Well, Carol, welcome to the set. How are you?
I'm fine. It's very nice to be here this morning. How are you?
Very good, and I'm happy that you were able to make it in. It's been a while. We were just talking a little bit about COVID and how lovely Zoom was, and we didn't have to drive anywhere. And you know, it was helpful for all of us because we were able to continue with the show on a regular basis. And now we're happy that we can have people in the studio. So thanks for coming over.
Thank you so much. I was asking you how you handled that. You were saying that you had. Go ahead.
Well, we ended up obviously having Zoom interviews, so we were able to continue with the program on a regular basis. We did have our then CEO, Mr. Parker, Jeff Parker, up here on a regular basis, and so we communicated well with the Orange County Health Department, and we were able to give numbers of just the city of Laguna Woods, because most of the other stations that you would turn to really didn't talk about Orange County as a whole. Everything was just really focused in the Los Angeles area. And then, of course, if they did mention Orange County, it would never be very specific.
Right.
So we were really so happy that we were able to do everything, as you mentioned, through Zoom, as well as being able to communicate. And our residents were awesome, and there was an article in the Orange County Register the other day about how awesome everybody was in getting vaccinated, and we were able to keep the numbers super low.
I saw that. They had the number, though, of acres as 4 when it's about 2,300. I looked at that because I firmly believe that the open space here was real helpful. People could be out of doors and still do things, and they weren't, they were still not so close to people, because high density is a factor, obviously.
Well, exactly, and like you mentioned, in Los Angeles, it's very dense, and that's where a lot, and most of any city that had dense populations really did have those increased numbers. And like we mentioned, that many of the residents were great about following the rules, doing what they were supposed to be doing, and we did actually interview many of the residents on an ongoing basis, and they were just talking to us about all the things that they did in the house. And one gal was really funny. I don't know if you know who Joey Sims is. She's our comedian. She was a crack up. She goes, I had a wine in every room, and I went bar hopping. And I thought that was so funny. It was like the best thing. So I thought that was really great.
That was clever.
Now, obviously, you guys you didn't stop working.
No.
You were working through the entire time, and
our city didn't close down. I just wanted you to know that.
Oh, okay, okay. But you guys work from home the majority of the time, I assume.
We reduced and put up the barriers that people have now, and those kinds of things. So yes.
Well, good. Well, you managed to pull off having a library, a public project happen. So this is
Isn't that
great.
Exciting? We're very excited about that.
So tell me a little bit about how this got started.
Okay. Well, the library originated in our city we're part of the Orange County Public Library System, by the way, about 2013, and you will see a slide in a moment showing how that. At first, it took a while for people to understand it was there, and it seems strange that you think, well, why would you need the library? Well, being part of the Orange County Public Library System, which is, by the way, celebrated its 100th year, just finished it in 2021. It has access to a variety, a wide number of books, and the books can be moved around, because if one library has a interest in a certain book, then they can move that book over to another library. So every library doesn't have to have every single book or have that many copies.
Right.
We also have the ability to supply the books for book clubs, because book clubs might want 15 copies or something of a certain book that's that's of interest to them. So and I think there's a good slide right there.
So you're talking about the circulation.
Yes, the circulation. You can see in 13 it was kind of flat, and then it catches on that people realizes the library's there, and then it really went up in 2014. It's growing, and then of course you see the drop in 2019, and then because the library did shut down, the Orange County Public Library, and so then it comes back on, and you can see it's growing. So there's a tremendous. Libraries are busier than ever. I know people think, oh, libraries are out of date. We don't read books. There's Kindle, remember, and there are ebooks, but there's technology too. The library offers. We don't right now because we don't have the space. We did, and now as we add this space, we'll see in just a moment. we have computers, and they're available for people to come in and use them, because people use them for getting jobs. You can't apply for a job without a computer anymore.
Exactly.
So anyway, and there's a good photo there of, in general, the steps leading up to the library, and on the right, that new building you see there is the library. In the lower picture, that planter won't be there because we're going to use that space for events. More events will be out of doors now.
Yeah.
And so you can see that's going to be a much more extended area there. I noticed on there it mentions the size. It mentions it's 80% funded with federal and state monies. So we were able to get a grant from the state. Connie Petrie Norris was very helpful, and she's responsible for that. And it'll be an increase in hours because we now will have the space and more people. The way the public library system works, the city, in this case, we provide the building, and the Orange County Public Library provides the books and the employees. Those are Orange County.
They provide your employees. Oh, that's good.
Right. So there'll be a 33% increase in the hours of operation. So that's going to be a cool thing.
Okay. Well, that is quite a nice expansion. And you mentioned that you're going to do things outdoors, which is great. Are there reading areas inside and outside?
Well, you'll see in a moment, we'll see another slide, but there are actually going to be two areas there. The first one, the one we're looking at in the top photo, that is going to be an open building, believe it or not. The roof is open and it will be open.
Okay.
And so we can do some activities in there, and it'll still have open air. Then to the right of that, and we'll see it in just a moment, is the actual library itself. Right now we have books on carts in the hallway. They're stacked everywhere. So getting this extra space will make a big difference. And I met someone yesterday just leaving, and she was just telling me how excited she was and how important the library was to her. So that was interesting.
No, that's great. And so the next couple of slides really are showing construction.
So
we're looking at the dirt here, and so you see the two different sections, right?
Right. So the one in the back is the actual library itself.
Okay.
And then there are some little areas. There'll be a restroom in the back of that.
Okay.
And then this forward square that you see will be that open. Remember that open building that I space saying? It has walls. It could be enclosed, but it'll be open, so it'll give us some activities. You could be in there, but you still have air and so forth.
Yeah.
So
nice.
yes, it's exciting.
Well, I love that. And then that's March 12th, so that's really recent.
Yes, right.
Okay. Oh, now we have even a better, like you said, you were doing drone shots.
Yeah, these are, see, now this one gives you, doesn't that help you with the perspective of seeing that the one on the right, square on the right, is the library, and on the left is that activity room. And then you can see the open space will be that area where the dirt is and so forth. And that's where we can have tables and have events out there. Those three little squares to the right of the larger square on the right are, restrooms and that kind of thing.
Okay. That's
a break
great.
room and so forth.
Now, when did this all start planning? Was it just about a year ago?
We've been talking about the library for a while. It looked like it was way off in the future because getting the money, and as I mentioned, Connie Petrie Norris was our assembly person, and she was responsible for getting the grant. We applied for the grant, and we did get that grant. That really made it possible then for us to move forward. So
right. Oh,
that was a big thing.
That's great. And when is the estimated completion?
This summer. They're on schedule. I don't want to be hopeful. You can see that's the road behind on the right.
Yeah.
There's a car there. That is the coming into the parking lot from behind the building.
Okay.
And so that also will make it, the door, there used to be a door on that tall piece there, but it opened out where that car is. That's not a good place to be opening a door.
Not.
Might have quite a surprise there.
Okay.
So that door has been moved, and so that'll be safer too. So that was an additional part of it.
Well, that is great. I mean, I really think that's a welcome project. People do love to read. And, we were talking to our little library here on a regular basis, and tons of people want to read, and especially when they were home a lot, they wanted to read. But when you go back to that one slide, I thought that was really interesting, that 2021, you shot way the heck up.
Oh, well, as I mentioned, that having access to all you can get books that you, from universities, from other libraries. You really have access to a very wide variety of books if you're wider reading,
Yeah.
then or access to the Orange County Public Library is a real value. And the Orange County Public Library has tremendous programs. I just have to speak well of the whole system because they provide, number one, actually they can actually mail books to you if you want to get into that. They can, and not only, and on these book loans too. So all kinds of programs from early childhood, encouraging reading, to I mentioned the electronics, and that is one of the things we plan to have in the library is return, which we used to have and then lost space.
Right.
We will have computers in there for use for people who come in and want to, get on the internet, apply for jobs, whatever they need the internet for.
Now, the current library is still open during construction,
Yes, it is.
correct?
Thank you.
Okay.
It is. You can have access. See that parking lot on the left there? That parking lot, if you walk up just past that vehicle that you see there, there's a sidewalk. It's in front of that vehicle. Walk straight up there, and then that's where we're entering right now as this construction is taking place.
Okay.
And the library is open, as of course the city is open.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Good.
And they can park in there.
They can, right?
That's much closer.
Okay, that's perfect. That's
Drive
perfect.
very slow in there.
Yeah. Well, and stay away from any nails.
Right. That's a good idea.
All right. So you've got some other things. Founders Wall. What is that?
See this picture right here. It says be a part of history and help to commemorate the expansion of our public library, pardon me, into a brand new building. Individuals, clubs, and businesses who add their name to the Founders Wall by May 31st will be recognized on a plaque outside the library entrance.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
If that tree weren't there, if you look all the way back, see where it says public library? Just down below it, that's a large plaque. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a bronze
the
color.
little brown.
That is where the plaque will be. So here's an opportunity. If you would like to support the library, you can visit City Hall. We have forms. And of course, you can contact us. Contact at lwccivicsupportfund.com.
Perfect.
And you can contribute and be recognized.
That's nice. That's great. And
It
then
is.
you guys have a senior mobility program.
We had some difficulties during COVID a couple times, but now it's back on track. You can go anywhere in Orange County, but you can't use it to just go to the airport. The OCTA did not recognize that as a need. But you can, veterans can go to the Long Beach Veterans Hospital. The trips to and from doctor's appointments are, depending on the distance, are $6. This is one way, $6 to $16, depending, once again, on the distance. If you want to go to Irvine Station, it's $10 one way. So this is a very reasonable, discounted way for the senior mobility.
You try to get Ubers right now, and they're really expensive.
I bet with this gas issue.
Exactly. So that's great that you're able to keep that at a low cost for everyone.
Yeah, we're really pleased.
Good. And then for them to be able to do that, they just contact the city.
Yes, they can come into the city and buy some of these if they want, buy the vouchers or however they would like to do it.
That's awesome. That's great. And then one last thing that you wanted to talk about here is Dr. Michael Gunson has a quote.
Oh, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Dr. Michael, and Earth Week, which will be the week of April 19th, I believe, when he's on. It is Tuesday, April 19th. He's on at 9:30 via Zoom. He's going to be talking. Dr. Gunson was with the JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs, and they did a lot of the NASA programs. And they have satellites, tracking the gases, so you can actually see. It's going to be very informative. It's greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, and methane. The good news and the bad news. I hope people will turn out for this. They can RSVP by calling City Hall at 949-639-0500. And it is Zoom, so you can do it in the comfort of your home. And then that Thursday, we'll also be doing that same week one on water with El Toro Water and some of the other districts.
Great. That's great. Yeah, we have them on a regular basis, and it's always great information.
It is.
They always have little tricks to teach you how to save your water. So.
Right.
Well, excellent. Well, I appreciate you coming in. It's been too long.
Well, thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you again in a couple of months. Have you come in and give us an update on the library.
Thank you so much for having me. You have a great week.
All right, Carol. Thank you. If you want more information about anything that's going on at the library, you can always call them at 949-639-0500. We'll be right back.